The song was written 6 years before it got to Beyonce. She got 25% because that is the way the music industry works. And to deny that is delusional.
So folks, if you were wondering who's coming down next after Diddy, here's the answer. The ultimate queen of R&B Beyonce is reportedly getting canceled. I mean, this lady has been tiptoeing around drama for a while now, but it got truly messy for her when Grammy-winning songwriter Tiffany Red called her out for stealing. This tea is super hot, folks, so be careful because you may never be able to look at Beyonce the same way after what you learn about her. Tiffany Red is an iconic figure in the music industry, and if you don't know her name, that's because she's been ghostwriting for many of our favorite artists. Yet she's fed up being robbed by these millionaires and billionaires, and she started her exposing campaign with Queen Bey.
Those writers are being exploited. Those writers' time is not paid for. Their services are not paid for.
She's making it clear that 2024 is the year of reckoning in the music world. But folks, it's not like we get Beyonce canceled every week, so this is kind of huge. In her explosive rant, Tiffany attacked the queen of R&B, calling her a thief. So let me get this straight. Jay-Z expects Beyonce to win Album of the Year when all the songwriters that contributed to these albums are not compensated, and she takes an obscene amount of publishing from all of them. Looks like Tiffany's been dishing about the shady practices in the music industry, and Beyonce is under fire. According to her, when a songwriter pens a track for an artist, the artist still gets a cut of the publishing, even if they didn't lift a finger to write it, and the lion's share basically make them all starve.
These songwriters have been out here. We've been in the street. Literally, I have been in the street.
But here's the real kicker. Beyonce's been able to get away with it because she's got songwriters signing NDAs. Like, who's gonna call out Queen Bey? Nobody in his right mind wants to go after her. Even tough guys like 50 Cent doesn't mess with her. Now, Tiffany is not that kind of girl who watches this music vulture take it all while walking over her friends. The songwriter hasn't personally worked with Beyonce, but she's fed up with hearing about these unfair practices, and she wants to speak for every mistreated songwriter. The reason why people who work for Beyonce don't talk is because they're all on NDAs, because that's also how she works. She silences people so that nobody could speak. But here's the real tea, folks. The industry whispers that maybe this whole songwriting scandal is why Beyonce hasn't snagged that coveted Album of the Year at Grammys.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work.
I mean, the Houston native has been breaking sales and streaming records since the start of her career. But if the industry knows Beyonce's playing dirty with the songwriter's coin, that could be the reason not to give her an award. And there's actually some truth in it. Look at past Album of the Year winners like Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, and Adele. They're all known for writing their own hits. So maybe if Beyonce can't spend another year without that coveted award, maybe she needs to take a page from the playbook of real artists who don't steal, and that's how she'll be finally able to snag that golden gramophone and not rely on her husband's pathetic speeches.
We want y'all to get it right, at least get it close to right.
Now, Tiffany's been blowing up the internet with her live videos, and she's not holding back. She's calling out Queen Bey herself for some seriously shady moves in the music biz. And folks, I want you to understand the gravity of this. We're talking about Beyonce here, the queen of everything. But even queens gotta watch their thrones because her dirty games are getting exposed. As Tiffany mentioned, I've had the opportunity to work with everybody, and I've turned down a lot of stuff because I'm not willing to play these games. There's a massive power dynamic happening. Okay, we all know about inflation and other stuff, but it seems like Beyonce doesn't want to cut her income to share with others. As Tiffany said, back in the day, songwriters used to make bank off their tracks, but now, with streaming ruling the game, they're barely scraping by. And guess who's taking a big old chunk of the pie? You guessed it, Beyonce.
Beyonce's team, like the people who work with her, these writers that I'm talking about that are exploited.
It looks like this lady plays by her own rules, making sure she gets everything on people's talent. As some netizens recalled, songs aren't the only things that Beyonce took. As one person commented, dancers have said that Beyonce doesn't pay the standard songwriter saying she don't pay. Gay! Everybody can't be lying. And another user added, lol, not the first time Beyonce's been called out for stealing songs, styles, dances, etc. Hell, it's even crazier that she doesn't write over half of her own music. Well, no one dared to speak against the queen yet, but Tiffany's live video can become the final nail into the coffin of Beyonce's career. This songwriter had some serious points to make. She's calling out Beyonce's hypocrisy, pointing out how her lyrics about empowerment ring hollow when she's not paying the people who write them.
That's the foundation of capitalism. To be a billionaire, you have to exploit labor.
And let's not forget about those NDAs. Apparently, Beyonce's got her team signing them left and right, silencing anyone who dares to speak out against her. And here's the craziest part, even celebs sign NDAs if they want to party with the queen. That's new level of humiliation in the industry, don't you think? But luckily for all of us, Tiffany's not afraid to speak her truth because she's not bound with the artist by any contract. Moreover, she confessed that she turned down opportunities to work with Queen Bey herself because she's not willing to play those games.
I'm not a writer that's written for Beyonce. I haven't shot my shot at Beyonce because I'm not willing to give her any publishing.
Maybe if Beyonce wants to save her reputation and career, it's time for her to step up and start treating her team with the respect they deserve. Because if she doesn't, she might find herself losing more than just a Grammy. She might lose her crown too. But here's the thing. It looks like everyone in the industry is aware about that, so that album of the year goes to Everyone Expect the Thief. As Tiffany wrote on her Instagram, maybe Beyonce will win the Grammy for Album of the Year when she starts paying songwriters and stops taking publishing from them. I hear it's around 15-30%. Probably, it's some shady business practices that prevent Queen Bey from getting the ultimate recognition. And let me tell you, Tiffany even mentioned complete lack of Beyonce's professionalism in music.
And by the way, none of the artists that I've mentioned have a career anything close to in music.
But can we talk about some honest artists like Taylor Swift for just a minute? This girl writes her own songs and albums and she's still slaying the game. She's got her 4th album of the year, leaving Beyonce crying in the corner. So maybe Beyonce can try to do the same. Like, pick up the pen and write a few lines of her own. I hope that Tiffany's word would serve as a wake-up call for Beyonce, and she finally realized that everyone's aware of her shady practices. You see, despite being the most nominated female artist in Grammy history with 79 career nominations, she keeps lying about hard work she does.
This is so overwhelming. I've been working my whole life.
So, if you folks are wondering why songwriters keep working with her, here's the sad answer. Many of them are willing to sell their souls for a chance to rub shoulders with the queen herself. But at what cost? As Tiffany Red mentioned, it's not worth even negotiating because Beyonce already has her own terms written and ready. Please don't act like it's easy to negotiate with Beyonce and her team, because it is not. If that was the case, there would not be so many people coming to me like, Tiff, this is how much was taken. Stuff is not negotiable. It's not. But here's the thing. Beyonce needs to wake up from that illusion that everyone is here to serve her needs. Because with the backlash she's about to face, this ain't a game anymore. If Tiffany is out here speaking truth to power, probably other people would find the same courage to speak up and end the reign of vile and greedy monsters in the industry.
You shouldn't have to be in company with a gatekeeper to be treated fairly.
But folks, you already know that Beyonce is cooking next album, right? Just last week, she announced a country album will be aired at the end of March, and if she's smart, she'll take Tiffany's words to heart. Like, seriously, it's time to switch up your game plan because fans may not forgive you your shady doings. As one person wrote, she's Beyonce, who's gonna check her? This is exactly why her behavior is the way it is. Beyonce needs a whole humble pot. And another fan commented, B and J have hurt a whole lot of people in the industry. Someday it will get exposed. It seems like you need to rub people the wrong way in Tinseltown if you want mint and cash, and Beyonce knows how to do perfectly. But folks, what do you think about all this? Is Beyonce robbing talented people to pave her path towards the heights of the music industry? And will she get canceled instead of getting next award? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to check my other videos.